Amigos, can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? Welcome. It's time for the show with no name. Lift off. Let's go. 6. Come on. You know the rest. 2.
1.
Come on.
0. Ignition. Lift off.
Welcome, English explorers. Great to have you on board. Buckle up. Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. And get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. Where? On Vaughn Radio. Oh, okay, Vaughn Radio. Yeah. Let's go. What up? What up? You can say what's up, pero totalmente nativo es what up. What up? I know. Hey, but that's what I teach you here on the show. Not the correct and proper way to say it. The way people say it. What up? Yeah, you can say what's up or sup. Sup always goes really well with a head nod. Con un movimiento de la cabeza. Sup. Sup. S-U-P es como diríamos what's up. Well, listen, you have the same thing. I have never, ever in the history of my time in Spain had someone say to me, hasta luego. No, well, the expression, yeah, but not pronouncing it like that. It's always hasta luego. Right? Okay, maybe I'm just hearing things, but I've never heard anybody say hasta luego. The same thing with the D in cuñado. Are you sure there's a D in there? Because I've never heard anyone pronounce it. Mi cuñado. I think it's even a meme, isn't it? Cuñado. I remember my friends always used to say that. These little cultural things, these things that I think you need to know when you're learning a language. And here we unlock the secrets to all those little culture and pop culture gems. This is the show with no name. You are show with no namers. We are on Vaughn Radio, among other amazing programs as well. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today, my amigos. We're going to have tons of fun. See, it rhymes. Tons of fun.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. Our master's program. I know so many students who have done the master's program and they have come out getting that dream job, being in that situation that, you know, when they signed up, they imagined themselves in. But of course, it is not for the faint of heart. Hey, I don't want to try and, turn you off, que te causa rechace, but it is not for the faint of heart. I mean, even our teachers, we've got to have the cream of the crop in our masters as far as teachers and students. Yeah, if you're weak, if you can't stand the heat, as we say, if you can't stand the heat, or if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. The Masters isn't for everyone. The good thing is we do have stuff for everybody, all levels, all budgets, all kinds of platforms as well, from in-person classes to online classes to video conference classes, whatever you may be looking for, or even materials for self-study. I urge you to go over to grupovon.com. Check it out. We've got tons of stuff. Also, if you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, please do not hesitate. No dudes. Do not hesitate to stop by. We'd love to meet you in person. All right, is everybody ready to rock and roll? Well, then it's time for today's pop quiz. Come on. What's it called? Oh, pop quiz. Okay. Pop quiz. Sing it. Let's make it echo. Pop quiz, 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 quiz. Pop quiz. Quiz, 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 quiz. I can't hear you. Is this an English class or a club? I think it's like a nightclub. Come on. Pop quiz. Still can't hear you. Pop quiz, 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 quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, amigos, welcome to our pop quiz here on the show with no name. This is the first of many sections where I urge you to participate. Remember, yes, this is a podcast, this is a radio show, this is a live stream, this is a show, it's entertainment, it's teaching, but most of all, it's an English class. And as with any class in any subject, you get out of it what you put into it. So you can participate. I urge you to do so. Also, remember, we've got a weekly section where you can participate. It's called the Question of the Week. And a great job. Thanks to all of you who've already participated. This week's question is, who is the baddest bad guy or gal of them all? All right. It reminds me of Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Right? This is Snow White. Is that Blancanieves? Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Fair in that case means beautiful. Who's the most beautiful of them all? Hey, remember, I was just telling you about pop culture. Well, everybody, even if you're not a fan of Snow White, you know that line. You know, that's like a classic line, just like Terminator. You don't have to be a Terminator fan to know, I'll be back. Yeah, we've all done it. We've all left a room, turned around, puffed our chest out and said, I'll be back, and looked ridiculous in the process. But hey, it happens. At least we can all relate. All right, so today we're going to take a look at something from Von Tienda, our online bookshop, or as I said, you can stop by in person in any of the cities I just mentioned. And today we're going to take a look at natural English. What is natural English? Good question. Natural English, tu guía definitiva del inglés natural. Well, basically, you've got totally native idiomatic expressions. You've got collocations. I think those are modismos. And basically, we try and teach you how to sound like us. I mean, that's one of the things we do here on the show with No Name every day. As you know, I love to teach you that real English, not that my tailor is rich, my mother's in the kitchen. What is that? What does that mean? I don't understand. That's unnatural English. Well, here we teach you natural English, and it's available for $25.95. That's a steal, un chollo, $25.95. It's written by Jimena Holiday, and Jimena Holiday has a show on Von Radio. I just can't remember the name of it. It was Sing It.
Jimena will test your English. Yes, she'll test your English. Jimena will test your English with Nacho. Wow! That's right, Test Your English is on Vaughn Radio every day at 12:30 with Jimena and Nacho.
So, folks, we're going to listen to an excerpt from Natural English by our amiga Jimena Holiday. She's written many other books at the Vaughn Tienda as well. And here, look, for example, just some of the examples that come here. Here, in fact, let me share this link with you. Copy and paste, and I'll share it here in the group with you. And perfect. Now it makes life easier when you just have to click and boom, there you are. You can take a look at it. I think they even have a sample, but hey, a couple different ones. Let's see if you know them. This isn't the pop quiz. This is just a little warm up. Fijaos cómo lo pronuncio. Warm up. This is just a little warm up over here. All right. How do you call somebody que te apuñala? Right? Somebody who's two-faced, right? Somebody you can't trust, somebody that's a bit dodgy or shady, right? I'm giving you this native vocabulary. A backstabber. ¿Te suena? Apuñalar a la espalda. So you can use it as a verb. He stabbed me in the back. Or as a noun. That fucking backstabber. Oh, sorry. Sometimes, hey, if somebody's a backstabber, you can add the F-U-C-K. Or you know what? We'll do the word we looked at yesterday. That damn backstabber. Don't be a backstabber. All right. What about to split hairs? Have you heard that one before? I know we've looked at that one here. It's rizar el rizo. It means to be talking about details that are really irrelevant, right? You're getting into semantics now, and you're getting off the topic when you are splitting hairs. I've heard you guys also say buscarle tres patas al gato. Is that correct? Or cinco patas? I've seen it with both, which is crazy. How many damn paws does a cat have? To be in a pickle. I love that one. To be in a pickle. Estar en un pepinillo. My daughter loves that one too. To be in a pickle. To be in a jam. To be in a bind. All three of those mean you're in a difficult situation, right? Your back's against the wall. You're between a rock and a hard place. You're between the devil and the deep blue sea. See, these are all ways of saying you are F-U-C-K-E-D, right? In Spanish, I think you know that word. So these are some really native idiomatic expressions. Let's listen to this little audio clip. And as always, I'll have a challenge or two for you afterwards.
Chapter 20, when you're feeling relieved.
Cuando te sientes aliviado. 4 key expressions.
Thank God, thank goodness, thank heavens.
Gracias a Dios.
To breathe a sigh of relief.
Respirar con alivio.
It's just as well that. It's a good thing that.
Menos mal que. Qué bien que.
A load off my mind.
Quitarse un peso de encima.
More useful English. Pronunciation.
Podríamos haber, se dice.
Could have. Phrasal verbs. To get out of.
Salir, escapar de.
To put away.
Guardar.
Vocabulary. A couple of weeks.
Un par de semanas.
Exaggerate. Whoa there.
Alto ahí.
Over my dead body.
Por encima de mi cadáver.
Thank God, we made it. Now we can all breathe a sigh of relief.
I can't help thinking that we could have done more.
Stop, what are you saying? It's just as well that we got out of there when we did. I didn't think we would make it out alive.
Gosh, stop being so dramatic. It's only IKEA, and I don't get it. Aren't you so excited to build all our new stuff? And isn't it amazing that we finally have a dustbin that's big enough for us to separate plastic and tins? And the beautiful new bath mat for the bath. Thank God they do deliveries now, otherwise I have no idea how it would all have fitted in the boot of the car.
I just feel sorry for our poor credit card.
Look, consider it a long-term investment. Although, yes, I have to admit that it's a load off my mind knowing that now we have a wardrobe, we can finally put all our clothes away and we won't have to go back there for a couple of weeks. It's a weight off.
Whoa there, go back in a couple of weeks over my dead body.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
More information about Weekend Town, Vaughn Town, and all our initiatives, just go to grupovaughn.com. Also, make sure you are following us on social media. And if you are, then you'll know April 1st. Mark your calendars because it's right around the corner. April 1st, 2025 at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room. Vaughn is having our monthly Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. And this month, well, this coming month, I should say, it's going to be hosted by Fitz, the host of No Damn Excuses. I know, I changed the name of his show. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind. As long as his students do a good job and kick some ass in class, well, then the rest is irrelevant. We're splitting hairs, to use the expression we looked at before. All right, so were you paying attention there? That was from Natural English. We're going to see if you were paying attention, because there were some really totally native expressions in there. Now, the first one, sobre mi cadáver. Okay, it means no freaking way. Siempre te doy otra forma de decirlo en inglés también. Like, no way, Jose. No way. Not a chance in hell. Es otra forma de decirlo. Pero hay otro con cadáver que usamos. It was in the audio. Use it in context. Don't just give me random sentences. We're not doing translations. We're learning how to, identify an expression and then identify where to put it in our situation, because everybody's situation is a little bit different. How would you, in your current situation, in your life, given your environment, use this expression? Well, that's the perfect opportunity to use it. So it takes not just learning an expression or a phrasal verb, but saying, okay, one step further. How do I apply this in my life? Where am I going to use this? Let me find the practicality. As I always say, personalize the language. Don't just learn verbs. Okay, verb, great, it's an adjective. Okay, but who do I know who is that adjective for me in English? So now it becomes a real living, breathing thing, as I always say about the dimensions of words. We can look at it, a word as a black and white text on a piece of paper, or we can look at it as an idea that can be the start of Cervantes. Okay, well, it all starts with one word, right? Every great novel starts with one word. So the first idiomatic expression I want you to give me is sobre mi cadáver. Okay, como ni de coña. I think I like that one you say too. Okay. Antes muerto. Oh, okay. I've heard antes muerto que sencilla. Is that one? Okay. I've heard that one before. Isn't that a song? Maybe it's a song. Well, you guys will help me out with that one. Okay. The next one, it was un suspiro de alivio. Okay. So this can be literal, like, wow, has soltado un suspiro, vamos, de alivio. Or it can be, vaya suspiro de alivio. Bueno, nos hemos librado. Okay, so again, where can you use this idiomatic expression in your life? Where can you apply it? And if not, make it up. Hey, there's always points for creativity. Okay, and the last one, Richard said, quitarse un peso de encima. Okay, So these are 3 idiomatic expressions. They come from the book Natural English by Jimena Holiday, and the chapter we were listening to had to do with relief, expressions that have to do with relief. Okay, so number 1, let me give them to you again because sometimes people don't get them. Sobre mi cadáver. Number 2, respirar con alivio, o un suspiro de alivio. And the last one is un peso de encima. Now, there was also another thing we did that we looked at there, and it was really important, and I want to look at this too, and it's something you can practice on your own as well. Okay, so all you have to do is get some irregular verbs, okay? I'm sure you can find them everywhere. There are irregular verb lists all over the internet. We have books with irregular verb lists as well. So you can find these if you don't have them. You should know them. If you consider yourself an intermediate level, you should know them. And why do you need them? Well, I always say this. The irregular, the second, third, and the third column, dominar eso, no saberlos, como come, come. No. I mean, really know them. Like, you can't say it wrong. It always comes out right. Okay, once you know those, you're you're going into more advanced territory, right? It's when you can start to say, okay, I'm intermediate, advanced, because I've got this under control. And you don't just need it to say, every day I go to the supermarket. Yesterday I went to the supermarket. Lately I've gone. Que es como deberías practicarlos, ¿eh? No go, went, gone. ¿Qué me dice eso? What does go, went, gone mean? It doesn't mean anything out of context, right? So put it in context. Every summer, I go to the pool. Last summer, I went to the pool. Now we're talking. We're not just saying 3 words. Lately, I've gone to the pool. And it's really important that I've gone. That's why we practice it aloud. But the one that we looked at there was should have. Okay? In Spanish, that's debería haber. Now, here's a trick. And if you know this trick, then you've got 3 different structures under control, mastered, at least when you're saying them. You got to practice then aloud, and I'll show you how to do that. So, should have, could have, and would have. Those are 3 different structures. Now, each of those are followed by the participle, tercera columna. See why we need to know them? They're not just used for the present perfect, but they're used in all different structures as well, in conditionals, right? So this is how we do it. Now, it should have, but it's not, nobody says should have. Nobody I know. We say should have or shoulda. Now, I always recommend should have, like Claudia said in the audio, because it sounds less street. Like, I'm not saying, I say, oh man, I should have let you know. I should have. Should have. Yo recomiendo que pronuncias básicamente esta VE como OF. Okay? De hecho, I've seen tweets, I've seen posts by native speakers, and they say, well, they could have, y ponen OF. They could have opened the coaster last year. Y digo, could have. Oh, man, no se ha enterado que ese of no es of. Es apóstrofe VE. All right, so let's practice. Here's how you should practice it. Okay, you can be both parts of the conversation. So if you don't have me, which you don't, during the rest of the day. So, I'm sorry I didn't bring you a coffee. Ahora, tú me tienes que decir, pues deberías haberme traído un café. So let's do it. I'm sorry I didn't bring you a coffee. Mira, estoy haciendo el acting y todo. Well, Alberto, you should have brought me a coffee. I brought you one yesterday. Te traje uno. You should have brought me one. You should have. Así estás practicando el should have y conjugando estos verbos que hay que saber, traer. All right, let's do another one. I'm sorry I didn't drink that water. You should have. Ya, esa parte lo tenemos claro, right? You should have drunk it. No hay que repetir that water, a no ser que te cuesta pronunciarlo y quieres practicarlo. Es mejor practicar. You should have drunk it. Deberías haberlo bebido. No es fácil decir en español tampoco. Deberías haberlo bebido. You should have drunk it. All right, another one. I'm sorry I didn't feed your cat. Ahora, esto ya sería ser un cabrón, ¿eh? No alimentar al pobre gato. I'm sorry I didn't feed your cat. That's grounds to unfriend, defriend. Man, you should have fed my cat. Feed, fed, fed. Estamos empleando la tercera columna. Okay, the next one. I'm sorry I didn't say what I was thinking. You should have said it. You should have said. Did you say said? I hope you didn't say said. You should have said it. All right, amigos, we have got to go to a quick commercial break. I can't believe it. Time is just flying by here on the show with no name. We've got a lot of people checking in with us here in our virtual classroom. So when we come back, we're going to listen to our Say What soundbite. We've also got some people participating in our pop quiz. We've got spelling bee, we've got homophones, and so much more. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. I hope you guys are having fun. We've looked at a lot of idiomatic expressions. We were looking at the structure should have. Y de hecho, could have. Te voy a decir una. Cuando alguien se arrepiente de algo y te cuenta, tenía que haber ido a tu fiesta, debería haberte avisado. ¿Sabes lo que decimos? Como no me cuentes rollos, que ya es tarde. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. Yeah. Eso es un totally native. Cuando alguien te viene con excusas, debería haberte, coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. Suena como un baile. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. Y me suena más esa con el que es lo que os dije. Para mí, yo cuando lo uso no diría I could have. A lo mejor ya digo I coulda. But I think it's more, what's the way? It just sounds better, maybe. More refined with the could have. Well, you could have told me. Podrías haber dicho, tío. You should have told me. I would have told you if I had known your phone number. See, you can do this on your own. You have a conversation with yourself. Whoever says you're crazy, well, I guess they've never learned a language before. All right, amigos, we've got so much to do in today's show. So let's kick off the second part with the Say What soundbite. Come on. Say what? Yes, what? Yes, yes. Yes, yes. It's your Say What soundbite. Here's where we hear a totally native person. Well, not always. Sometimes we have non-native English speakers. We don't own the language. It's not ours. It's for everybody. But today, this guy's, he's native. You tell me from where. Hey, that's part of the exercise too. Seeing if you guys can identify the accent. You can pinpoint where the person is from. And this guy is super famous. I mean, even if you don't, this is one of the people you say the name, Michael Jackson, doesn't matter who you are. You're like, oh yeah, right. or Freddie Mercury, those Princess Diana, that level. Prince. There are certain people. Well, this guy's on that level. There's him and no other like him. But that's not really going to help you too much with the English stuff, is it? All right, so as always, I want you guys to listen carefully, and we'll take a look at today's Say What soundbite. Here it is for the first time.
And then I get to the chorus, and I find that it's about my death, my demise, and as a 76-year-old man, which I was at that time, and having children and having a husband, mortality, you think about, how long have I got?
All right, there you go. I don't think it's too hard today. We've had a lot tougher ones, believe me. All right, let me give it to you a second time, and then we can discuss it. Tell me what you heard in your best English, and hopefully, before the end of the show, you'll be able to give it to us all.
And then I get to the chorus, and I find that it's about my death, my demise, and as a 76-year-old man, which I was at that time, and having children and having a husband, mortality, you think about, how long have I got?
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, folks. My latest book, This Book is the Shit. You can pick it up at Vaughan Tienda or wherever fine books are sold. Today, we're taking a look at something from Natural English in our pop quiz, penned by my amiga Jimena Holiday, the host of Test Your English. I shared the link with you here in the group, so if you'd like to, you can pick up a copy. Also, remember to follow us on social media. And if you're in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, well, you can always stop by one of our offices and bookshops. Stop by and say hello. Introduce yourself. Preséntate. All right, speaking of introductions, let's see who's with us in our virtual classroom. We've got so many show with no namers joining us. That's awesome. I look forward to spending this time with you every day, my amigos. Front row center, we've got a super student. Magic, this guy. He does miracles. I'm talking about Born to Iron Man. Let's see. Born to Iron Man. I think today's spelling bee is going to be a walk in the park for you. A breeze. Pan comido. Matias says, hey, Matias, what's today's topic? Well, it depends. We're going to talk a little bit about everything. Space. We're going to talk about famous people's birthdays. Right now, we're looking at some idiomatic expressions, so you never know. And the topic won't be the same 5 minutes from now. So welcome to the show with no name. Great to have you with us, Matias. Chris says, morning, fantastic show with no namers. If I suddenly disappear, I'm waiting for a call. All right. Well, no worries, Chris Valrol. I won't know. Well, if I don't see you participating, but I won't know if you disappear. But good luck. Good luck on the phone call. I think it sounds like you could say too, I'm expecting a call. Espero una llamada, right? Because waiting for is like, I'm looking at my watch. When are they going to? But I'm expecting is me han dicho que me van a llamar. So I think it's better in that case. I'm expecting a call, and I hope everything goes well on that call. Chris Valrol, welcome. She says he said he'll go, and I said over my dead body. Yes. Over my dead body. Lo decimos igual. Now, by the way, we do say the word cadaver. Right? Cadaver is a word that we use. Okay. Did you know that? Okay. Well, cadaver. Yeah. Now, the expression, you don't say over my cadaver. In this case, you say over my dead body. Not a chance in hell. No freaking way. Right? Those are 3 ways to say it's not going to happen. Okay. Esa es otra forma. Not on my watch. No mientras es mi turno, que yo vigile. No, es como decir, no mientras yo estoy a cargo aquí. Right? Not on my watch. These are all ways to say over my dead body. It's not going to happen. Forget about it. All right, great job, Chris. Let's see the second one. I'll emit a sigh of relief when I got the procedure sorted. When I get, right? I'll emit a sigh of relief, or I'll breathe a sigh of relief. You can say as well, to emit or to breathe escrito con una E, no lo confundamos con breath, okay? So yes, I'll emit a sigh or a breath of relief. A breath of, yeah. Okay. When I got, y aquí, como es el futuro condicional, diríamos when I get the procedure sorted. Excellent job, Chris. And she says, it's gonna be a weight off my shoulders. Excellent job, Chris Valrol. Kicking butt already. Excellent job. Wonderful. All right. Anybody else? Okay, so we said to breathe a sigh of relief. And also remember, to sigh is a word too. He sighed. Let's all sigh right now. It's one of the greatest underestimated things in the world, you know? Okay. Oh, and another thing I almost forgot. To relieve es el verbo. This will relieve your stress, right? Pero el sustantivo es relief, como Chris ha puesto. So dirías, qué alivio, what a relief. I'm relieved. Okay, so just make sure, like breathe and breath, they're a bit tricky and sometimes people get them wrong. So I'm just letting you know, don't go down that path. Okay? So, a sigh of relief. And the last one, you can get a weight off your shoulders. Also, it's a load off my mind. Una carga, un lastre. Think of it, right? Also, a load off your mind. A burden. That's another word, too. A burden, un peso, right? Let's see how they say a burden. A burden is like a worry, something that's on our mind. Una carga. See, same word there, carga. A load off your mind. A burden. Great vocabulary. Wonderful job. All right, let's see what we've got. We've got our Say What soundbite. We already heard it twice. We're going to hear it another 2 times. Let's see what you folks have to say about it. Chris says, I heard a British gentleman who's being interviewed. Yes, he's British. Good ear. Yes, lovely. He talks about mortality. Yes, he does. I'm being much more dramatic than he was. I don't know the context, because he mentions a chorus or something about his death. Wow, Chris, excellent job, yes. The word he said was chorus, and something about his death. That's exactly what he said. He says he wonders how much time he has left. Wonderful job, Chris. Great ear. All right. Well, if there's nobody else who has something to say about it, we are going to move on because, as you know, there's always so much to do here on the show. So let's move on to today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, folks, welcome to our Spelling Bee here on the show with no name. As always, our Spelling Bee is usually one of the most challenging sections here on the show, especially that first round. All right? Oh, what's going on? Hey, to answer your question, what's today's topic, Matias? Well, a minute ago it wasn't, but now it's space. So a minute ago, it was idiomatic expressions that have to do with relief. But now we are going to the next dimension. All right, is everybody ready? Let's capitalize the first letter of every word. And good luck. The first one is SATURN. The second one is TITAN. The third one is CHRISTIAAN space HUYGENS. The fifth one is METALLIC space HYDROGEN. The fifth one, LIQUID space HYDROGEN. And the last one is LIQUID space HELIUM. I feel like I've been to space and back. All right. There you go. What have you got, folks? I just gave you my best. Can't go too much faster than that. I've got to be honest. That's the fastest I can go. And I've had 2 cups of coffee already. 2 cups of Joe. I love that. Joe? Like Joe Biden? Yeah, también Joe es café. I love when people's names mean things, right? Did you know this one? Willie means penis. Well, it's short for William, but it means penis. And Johnson also means penis. So if your name is William Richard Johnson, Willie Dick Johnson, te llamas Berga, Berga, Berga. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you. Don't name your kids any of those. And Richard Vaughn, well, technically his nickname is Dick, but he's not a dick. I got to say that about him. His nickname might be Dick. I believe when he was a kid, he told me they called him Dick, which is quite normal. Dick Nixon, no, Richard Nixon. But again, I imagine kids will be kids, and they're like, Willie Dick Johnson. Okay. What were your parents thinking? Freud, anyone? Sigmund Freud? All right, let's go over here and see what we've got. It looks like we might have some winners, plural. It looks like we might have some winners on our hand over here. Let's see. The first person to participate is Born to Iron Man. No surprise here, because he kicks ass in this section. Let's see. The first one is correct, sir. The second one is perfect. The third one is a tough one, but you got it. The fourth one, perfect. The fifth one, you got it. And the last one, yes! Unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, also Chris Valrol. You guys are shooting for the stars. Ir a por todas, to shoot for the moon or to shoot for the stars means ir a por todas. And you nailed it. Great job. Born to Iron Man and Chris, I can't go. It's not humanly possible to go faster than that. So excellent job in round one. For the rest of us, including me in that category, you're lucky. You're in luck, como decimos, because there is a round two where I go at a more normal pace. Un ritmo bastante más normal, bastante más, what's the word? Average, promedio. Okay. The first time I'm just, that guy who doesn't have time for you. This time I've got time for you, folks. All right, let me get my, I'd like to get those space sounds in there. All right, there we go. Here we go. Number one. Number one is SAT. URN. And I'm pronouncing, not everybody pronounces all their letters like that. I do that because, well, I've been taught that way. But some people say SAT, URN. No, even if they go slow, they'll say SAT, URN. Right? But I say it on purpose, SAT, URN. And that's the way I would normally do it. I'm the nice guy. I'm round two guy. Number two, TITAN. The third one, CHRIS. TIAAN. Space. HUYGENS. The fourth one is METALLIC. Space. HYDROGEN. The fifth one, LIQUID. Space. HYDROGEN. And the last one is LIQUID. Space. HELIUM. All right. And folks, these words all had something to do with Saturn. That's right, the planet Saturn. Why? Because in the year 1655 today, Saturn's largest moon, its name, Titan. You say Titan, we say Titan. Okay? Same word, different pronunciation. Dilo conmigo, Titan. Saturno is Saturn. Say them with me. Number one, Saturn. So Saturn's largest moon, Titan, o como lo diría un americano, Titan, okay, was discovered by a guy named Christian Huygens. And Christian con dos A's in Christian. Christian Huygens is number three. And, well, the next three things I gave you were technical words, but words I thought it's good to know as well, because, well, our universe, our planet, our solar system is made up of these, and also Saturn as well. And number one, metallic hydrogen. This is not number one in the spelling bee. This is number one of the materials. It's number 4 in the spelling bee. So metallic hydrogen. Vamos a pronunciar esa juntos. Hidrógeno, you say in Spanish, right? We say high. Hydro, que viene de agua, ¿no? Hidro. Hydrogen peroxide, right? You see this word a lot. It's a word that's a common word. It's not, you don't have to be too much of a scientist to know the word hydrogen. Vamos a pronunciarlo again. Hydrogen. So you've got metallic hydrogen. Metallic hydrogen is the one that goes, exit light into night, take my hand, we're off to never, never land. Okay, not Metallica, metallic. Okay. And the last one, liquid helium. And who hasn't experimented with helium at a kid's birthday party? Yeah, and you get your voice to do that. We've all done it, right? It's what makes balloons float, right? It's one of the uses of helium. Now, I don't know how to say that one. ¿Es helio? Helium? Mira, fíjate, no lo sé en español. Let me look it up. See, you guys aren't the only ones learning here, guys. Our curiosity can, you can wake up learning helio. See, I didn't know that. Inert gas, helium. We'll say it with me in English. We'll say them all again just to make sure you pronounce them perfectly, not just spell them perfectly. Number 1, Saturn. Your turn. Saturn. Titan or Titan. Christian, well, eso da igual. Hydrogen. And helium. All right, well, my amigos, I can't believe it, but we have got to go to a quick commercial break. Excellent job, Born to Iron Man and Chris Balrol knocking it out of the park in the first round of our spelling bee. When we come back, we're going to take a look at today's homophones. Then we've got our Say What soundbite for the third time. We've got Name That Movie, Name That Lyric, Famous Birthdays, Double Trouble, and so much more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with No Name. Don't forget, this show is followed by some amazing programs such as Jimena Holiday's Test Your English, followed by Rob Graham's and Andy Vaughn in The Lunchtime Show. Chow Down. Chow Down es come, ponte a comer. Chow Down with Rob and Andy. Don't forget, you've also got Rob in the mornings on the Pro Bow Show, sharing these unpopular opinions, these hot takes, and you can participate. You've also got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Then the wacky Dave Boyce. Chiflado, vamos a ser honestos. The wacky Dave Boyce and his program, The Salad. And then Kyle Miller will challenge you on the drive home in his program, Drive Time. Then we've got Chris Frank, a conversationalist. He can talk about anything, anywhere, anytime. I'm talking about Chris Frank and his program, Frankly Speaking. You've also got Richard Vaughn. Richard Vaughn Live, the master himself. You can have an English class with Richard Vaughn every day for free if you listen to his program. And don't forget, you can get all these programs wherever you get your podcasts. And then you got Fitz with No Excuses right before this show. He's also hosting our upcoming Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, so mark your calendars. April 1st, 8 p.m., Toast Tap Room. And I know there's got to be another show that I'm leaving out.
Guess who's back? Back again. Yes, he's back. Tell a friend. Yes, he's back. 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 That's right. The Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez is back on Vaughn Radio.
That's right. That's it. The Hour to Empower. So many amazing programs. All you have to do is download the free Vaughn Radio app, or you can download each show wherever you get your podcasts, iVox, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and so on and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Homophone.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, it's homophone rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with homophones. Show with no name.
All right, time to take a look at some tricky words in our homophones section. All right, the first word I'm sure you're familiar with. I could be wrong, but I've got a hunch, una corazonada, that you've definitely seen it before. And that word is help. I need somebody help, not just anybody help. But it's another way to say it. Okay, so it's ayuda, socorro, auxilio. Okay, and it's also the verb. So that's one of the wonderful things about English is the fact that many nouns are verbified. So it also means ayudar, auxiliar, apoyar. Okay. Also, well, I can teach you it after, but it also is part of an expression that means instigar y asistir, ser cómplice. Okay. Also, if we add another word, a hyphenated word, it's una tirita. So we'll look at that as well. I think that's important. Una subvención, una beca también. Primeros auxilios. Ayuda extranjera. So, wow. Audífono. Si ponemos la palabra audición delante. So, wow, this is a lot richer. Asesoría legal, asistencia legal. So, wow, really, really rich one here. Material pedagógico también. Si ponemos la palabra teaching delante, vamos, que es una palabra súper útil y la vamos a ver en profundidad. Okay, the next one is asistente o auxiliar. Okay, ayudante. Usually, this could be in the political realm. It can also mean de enfermería. A lot of times you see this, ayudante, auxiliar, you would say, de enfermería, de profesor, también asistente de profesor, si tiene la palabra teacher delante o si tiene la palabra nurse delante. So similar, if you think about it, auxiliar, asistente, ayudar, ayudante, okay? But do you know the two words? So the first one is ayudar. We'll look at all the other meanings after, but in general, it's ayuda, socorro, ayudar, auxiliar, apoyar. The second one is asistente, auxiliar, ayudante. And again, depending on what we put in front of it, it can mean one thing or another. All right, so those are your homophones. I think they're pretty tricky today. We shall see. Veremos. Also, let me give you guys your Say What soundbite. Here it is. As Chris Valrol said, a nice British gentleman. Well, here he is for the third time.
And then I get to the chorus and I find that it's about my death, my demise, and as a 76-year-old man, which I was at that time, and having children and having a husband, mortality, you think about, how long have I got?
Hello, my name is Fitz, and I'm an Irishman. I'm a very Irishman. And very soon, that's going to be a very important day in my life.
It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, hosted by our buddy Fitz. Great Scott! Mark your calendars. Tuesday, April 1st at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room in Malasaña. Follow us on social media for more information.
This, my friends, is a pint of beer. Is piąta bior esho. Is piąta bior esho. Sláinte.
Cheers to you too, Fitz. We'll see you there April 1st. It's going to be tons of fun and a little movie trivia for you. All right, I put together that ad, edité yo esa cuña, and I put a line, a tribute to one of my favorite movies in there. I'll see if you guys know it. You can tell me in the comments. The line is, Great Scott. Okay, and it's the original person saying it. So if you recognize the actor's voice, hard to recognize unless you've seen the movie in English, but the line is, Great Scott, which means holy shit. Madre de Dios. Great Scott. Does anyone recognize that? I know most Americans, I know Rob Grams. Rob, if you're listening right now, and you knew it the second you heard it. And Andy, I know most of us movie geeks, movie buffs would know it in an instant. But again, if you've seen the movie in English, if you haven't seen the movie in English, then you won't know where that Great Scott comes from. All right, let's take a look at our homophones over here. Let's see. I guess there's a problem with the computer. There are people in the group, supposedly. It says that there's a bunch of you here in the group, but I don't see anybody participating. So question, is it because you're not familiar with the words? Did I stump you? Get out of here. Guys, I don't like stumping you. No me gusta desconcertarte y dejarte como que no sabes la respuesta, but it's hard to stump you. So, wow, I'll give myself a little pat on the back there. You guys are freaking, you're out of this world. Extraordinarios como alumnos. So, wow. Okay, so one for Alberto, one for the teacher. All right, well, the words are, the first word is aid. A-I-D, okay? If you add an S, it's SIDA, by the way. Okay, I didn't mention that one before. You've probably seen it if you've seen the signs for first aid, right? La cruz está. If you've been, a lot of times it just says first aid. Well, in Spanish, primeros auxilios, right? First aid. Let's take a look at it, as I said, because it means a lot of different things here. It's used in a lot of different ways. Kind of, they mean the same thing. So when she was sick, Linda asked her neighbors for aid, asistencia, ayuda, right? When the patient collapsed, the nurse rushed to his aid. So there's another way to use it, a su lado, a su auxilio, okay? It's a regular verb. So they aided the enemy, ayudaron a los enemigos. They aided them, okay? Les ayudaron. To aid, now a structure too, ayudar a alguien. We aided them in doing that. Eso sería la estructura. So they aided them in painting the new building. Okay, so to aid somebody in doing something would be how we would use it, con ayudar a alguien en hacer algo. Okay, just so you know the structure. It's important stuff here. Okay. The other one, to be an accomplice, to aid and abet. Well, he was arrested for aiding and abetting. Okay, that means instigar y secundar, asistir. Okay. An aid worker. Well, you hear about this all the time. Oh, there was a tsunami, there was some kind of natural disaster, and well, aid workers, they go there, voluntarios, and they go provide aid to people who need them. Okay, and I'm sure they bring a first aid kit with Band-Aids. Tiritas. Now, eso es la marca, pero así lo decimos. Band-aids, right? I believe the British call them plasters. Plasters. We call them aid. Then you got financial aid, right? If you can't afford universities in the United States, which don't worry, I don't think many people can, you've got financial aid, ayuda, but remember that you have to pay interest and all that stuff. It's not really, So ayuda financiera, subvención, subsidio, it says here as well. Let's see, foreign aid, ayuda extranjera. A hearing aid, audífono, sonotone. It says here, sonotone. In España coloquial, audífono, a device. If someone is hard of hearing, if they can't hear well, they're going deaf, well, they might need a hearing aid. If somebody gets into legal trouble, well, maybe they'll need legal aid, asesoramiento legal gratuito, right? We offer legal aid and medical aid to everybody who participates. Also, we said a teaching aid, algo que ayuda al profesor a enseñar. So algo visual, algo, right? A handout, algo que distribuyes, right? We can also say a visual aid, and that's even more broad of a term because you don't have to be a teacher to use it. A visual aid, right? So that I would say teaching aid is good, but visual aid vale para todo. Es algo que hace que la gente lo visualice. I think of presentations when I think of that. All right, hang on, wait. Chris is taking a stab at it. Chris, the first word is correct. The second word is correct. And she says they're homophones. Well, guess what? You're right. And that first word over there, so that first word is A-I-D. Okay, A-I-D. The second word is A-I-D-E. Tiene una E de más, pero se pronuncia exactamente igual as Chris Valrol just pointed out. So you can have an aide in Washington, D.C., right? Somebody who is kind of an assistant to politicians or these people, asistente, auxiliar, okay? A nurse's aide, right? A lot of times hospitals have nurses and nurse's aide, auxiliar de enfermería. You have teacher's aide. I know at my daughter's school, they have the teachers, the main teachers, but then in every class, there's a teacher's aide. So again, that second one is A-I-D-E. Todos los que dijimos antes son sin la E. But the important thing is they are pronounced exactly the same. Excellent job, Chris Valrol. And now we're going to do your favorite section. Name that movie. Name that movie. All right, nobody got my movie trivia there. Well, now I know that you guys have not seen Back to the Future in English because Doc Brown, played by Christopher Lloyd, he says it, that's his catchphrase. Es su frase. Lo dice en toda la película. Great Scott, Marty, great Scott. ¿Qué es lo que dice en español? I don't know how they translate it. Recorcholis. I don't know. It's obviously a shock, surprise, like, get out of here. No me digas. Great Scott. Right? It's an exclamation of shock. Great Scott. Oh, Chris, yes, it's Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Nice job. Hey, again, I don't know what he says in Spanish, but I know it's not Gran Scott. Y si lo han traducido así, pues muy mal. All right, let's take a look at this movie. This isn't Back to the Future, but it does have to do with time travel. And I did not plan that, I promise. All right, here we go. In 1978, a boy travels 8 years into the future and has an adventure with an intelligent, wisecracking alien ship. Does this premise sound familiar to you? Okay, we'll go over the vocabulary now. So in 1978, okay, 1978, a boy travels 8 years, 8 años, into the future. Vamos a pronunciar esa palabra? Future, and has an adventure, future, adventure. ¿Ves algo en común ahí? Say it with me. Future, adventure, with an intelligent, wisecracking alien ship. Y sé que alien lo conocéis la palabra, pero nosotros lo pronunciamos alien, not alien, right? It's ale, like the beer, ale, like that, right? Alien. And wisecracking. Well, you guys know to crack a joke is contar un chiste, right? Oh, I was just cracking some jokes. So a wisecracking person, okay, es ocurrente, chistoso. Okay, siempre tiene como a wisecrack, no, te voy a soltar otra bromita, otro chiste. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, wow, she really is out of this world. Give it up for Chris Valrol. I remember watching this movie at church. Yeah, I remember that. Church, they were pretty strict about movies and music. I remember at my mom's church. So I remember I said, wow, the church sanctions this? Wow. It is Flight of the Navigator. And as you know, it is Walt Disney. That's why the church says, oh, it's Disney. They can do no wrong. Really? Have you seen some Disney movies, especially the old ones? I mean, the new woke bullshit, okay, those are whatever. It is what it is, okay? People choose to buy into it or not. But the old ones, like Peter Pan, he's like, they take the boys to an island called Pleasure Island, and they make men out of them. Hang on a second. That's weird. That's creepy. So you'll see Disney's looking back at Disney, some of the classics too. You're like, that's got some weird undertones there. Hey, it could be just a coincidence, or that's some weird story, material there. So, yes, this is Flight of the Navigator, and it came out in 1986, approved by my mother's church, which, again, that's right there. And speaking of Disney, there were a couple park cameos. There's another word we spell the same, but we don't pronounce the same. We've looked at several today. Titan, Titan. Well, here's another one, cameo. You say cameo, correct? We say cameo. So the ship that is used in this movie is in a boneyard. A boneyard is donde dejan aviones o naves. So have you seen them all in the desert? There's one in Teruel, a very big boneyard. And it's like a graveyard for mechanical things, vehicles, right? So there's the ship that was used in this movie is in the boneyard at the Disney Studios theme park in Florida, in Orlando, Florida. It was an exhibit on what is called the Backlot Tour. And it's kind of like this people mover kind of, tourist train that takes you to see all the backstage areas and all the props, atrezo, I think you say, all the props that were part of it. There's another park cameo as well. One of the props of the hull of the ship. ¿Cómo se dice esto? No me acuerdo. Sé que lo hemos mirado. The hull, el casco, okay, del barco. The hull of the ship was refurbished. Okay, refurbished? No sé cómo se dice. Hey, guys, I'm learning a lot of good vocabulary myself here today. Refurbished, renovado, okay, reequipado, renovado. It was refurbished, and now it's the top of a drink station, a drink area in Tomorrowland. And this is in Orlando as well, at the Magic Kingdom. So there are a lot of those winks. If you guys are Disney fans, when you go to the parks, Like you'll be going through like a Peter Pan ride, and there's a little ratatouille in the corner, and you won't see him unless you're looking for him. Oh, they like to do those little winks, those little nods. A wink or a nod es un guiño. Los dos son formas de decir un guiño. All right, let's take a look over here. David says, if I stay, those scientists will experiment on me like a guinea pig for the rest of my life. Another word, we spell the same. You say Guinea, right? We say guinea. Okay, so write it however you need to write it, but in English, it's guinea, and it's conejito de Indias, I think you say, right? A lab rat. So if I stay, those scientists will experiment on me like a guinea pig for the rest of my life. And Max says, if I take you back in time, you could be vaporized. It's very risky, David. Hay mucho riesgo, David. And David says, let's do it. Vamos a por ello. Let's do it. A mí me encanta la de, let's do it like we never knew it. Okay, porque rima. So then Max prepares the ship. Prepara la nave. And David says, Max, will I ever see you again? Te volveré a ver. Will I ever see you again? And Max says, sadly, and his voice returned to a normal tone. He says, I don't know. We must start the journey. La cruzada, la misión, right? We must start the journey. No es jornada. It's a false friend. Hold on tight, Davy. We say that at the beginning of the show. Hold on tight. Strap on your seatbelt. So agarra fuerte. Hold on tight, Davy. And we can use this figuratively too, not just, hey guys, hold on to the bar. Hold on tight. This is going to be bumpy. Okay? And then David says, I'm going to miss you. Te voy a añorar, echar de menos. I'm going to miss you. And Max says, I'm going to miss you too. Thanks. Gracias. And David says, no big deal. No es gran cosa. No big deal. Apúntate esa. Really? Come on. Let's get out of here. Larguémonos de aquí. Let's get out of here. Now, el out of, te lo he dicho 1000 veces, lo pronunciamos y hasta mucha gente lo escribe así. O-U-T-T-A. Let's get out of here. And Max says, compliance, navigator. Okay. And to comply, the word compliance is cumplir, right? Cumplimiento, conforme con. So I love this movie, and I remember the first movie sanctioned by the church. Well, I'm looking at it over here. It wasn't G, because the lowest rating is G, general audiences. Then you've got PG, then you have PG-13, then you have RX, right? And this one is U. So it's unrated. It's lower than the lowest rating. It's Flight of the Navigator. All right, amigos, we're going to get out of here, but don't worry, we'll be right back. After this quick commercial break, we've got a lot of stuff to cover in the fourth and final part of today's show. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 4 of today's show with No Name. Don't forget to stay tuned to all the amazing programs we have for you right after today's show. Also, mark your calendars if you haven't yet. April 1st, we're all going to be getting together for a shindig. Una fiesta. A shindig. A bash, un fiestón, and that's the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It happens every month Every month it's hosted by a different Vaughn Radio host. And we've got Fitz, April 1st, 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room. And thanks to everybody who shows up. There are some people who are regulars. They come every week. But just be aware, it's not Wednesday anymore. So new night, Tuesday night, new location, the Toast Tap Room, but same fun and family. I say family because, well, my friends are like my family. My family comes along, and many of my students are like family as well. So friends, family, and fun. And beer. Bueno, beer no es F. All right, well, and foamy beer. Frothy. Frothy is the word. Oh my God. That's a crazy reaction. I mentioned the word beer, and my mouth started watering. Oh, my Lord. I can't wait. I'll be there with bells on, con muchas ganas. It's April 1st, Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. And speaking of trivia and challenges and all that jazz, why don't we take a look at today's double trouble? Yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right. Did I? Oh, sorry. No. It's not a double trouble. It's a triple trouble. And you want to know something? It just became one. Yeah, it was a double trouble. And then during the jingle, I said, I'm going to up the ante. I'm going to raise the stakes and make it a triple trouble because I know you can handle it. Sé que podéis. And before, we were talking about people's names. I tried to give you a little clue. I drop clues all throughout the show of what's to come. Okay, I take a lot of time and put everything together. I mean, that's one of the secrets, I think, of why the show with no name works. It's madness, but it's organized madness. Okay, there is a method to everything I do. So I told you before, names like Dick, Willie, the last name Johnson means, well, we're going to look at some names that mean things. All right, and you'll be surprised. One time, not one time, it was a couple days, we were working on a section for my latest book. This book is the shit, where we used famous people's names. And what we did was we told you what they mean. So like I said before, Joe, you have Joe Biden with a cup of Joe, right? De café. You'll remember it always. If you can always have that image of Joe with a cup of Joe. Okay. So let's see if you know this one. I think this one's a pretty common one. All right. You got to use the same word 3 times, though. Hallaron un cadáver no identificado en el baño. We looked at the word sobre mi cadáver antes también. Okay. So, hallaron un cadáver no identificado en el baño. Y voy a especificar, de hombre, porque si es de mujer, ponen otro nombre. Oh, ho, ho. Hey, I'm just trying to help. Maybe I just confused you more. So, hallaron un cadáver no identificado en el baño. Dijeron que era cliente de prostíbulos. Hey, that was the part I just added. I was like, espera, nos quedamos cortos aquí. So I just added that last part. So you've got it. Hallaron un cadáver no identificado en el baño. Dijeron que era cliente de prostíbulos, right? Right. A person who went to go see workers of the night or sex workers. I don't know what the proper term is these days. But there it is, folks. You've got to use the same word 3 times good luck. Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite for the 4th time. Hopefully, somebody will get it.
And then I get to the chorus and I find that it's about my death, my demise. And as a 76-year-old man, which I was at that time, and having children and having a husband, mortality, you think about, how long have I got?
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, amigos, Vaughntown. Vaughntown is, I think, one of the things that put Grupo Vaughan on the map. Vaughntown and Vaughan Radio. And now, as you know, aside from Vaughntown, we've also got our weekend town, which is awesome. It's got to be, I think, a turning point in anybody's English journey. All right, let's go on over here and see if anybody figured out today's triple trouble. The first person to take a stab at it is German. Hello, German. Great to have you on board. And he says they found John Doe's corpse in the John. They said it was a John. Yeah. O directamente, they found a John Doe. O sea, si dices, no tienes que poner ni corpse. They found a John Doe. And that's interesting because the word doe there is D-O-E. Y es la misma palabra de doe, a deer, a female deer, me, a name I call myself, T, I can't remember the lyrics, but it's the classic doe, a deer. Well, John Doe, you say, they found a John Doe. Si es una mujer, Jane Doe. Si no me equivoco, hay una serie que se llama Jane Doe. Cuerpo no identificado, no varón, right? So they found John Doe in the John. Yeah, John is another way of saying the bathroom. It's an informal way of saying it. It's funny, though, because the British call it the loo. We both call it someone's name, huh? I'm going to the John. Well, I'm going to the loo. All right, well, I'll see who goes there first, all right? So they found a John Doe in the John, in el baño. They said he was a John, or it was a John, the body or the person. You can say that one. So excellent job, German. Chris says they found a John Doe at the John. Mejor in, right? Porque está dentro del baño. In the John. And they said he was a brothel John. Quita el brothel, como has dicho. Simply a John. Yeah. They said that they have a lot of Johns on the Las Vegas Strip. Well, Johns are people who frequent brothels. As Chris said, great word there. A brothel, you say prostíbulo. So they found, hallaron, a John Doe, Jane Doe, si es mujer, in the John. And they said it was a John, somebody who frequents these places of the night. All right, amigos. And as I said, there are a lot of other names out there that you'll hear. Chuck, for example, is another one. Chuck. To chuck is lanzar. And Berry is mora. So Chuck Berry, lanza moras. Chuck Berry. Hey, wait, Back to the Future. Went down Louisiana, crossing New Orleans. The little country boy money evergreens. But it's not time for Name That Movie. No way. It's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking.
All right, amigos, you're about to hear the best jokes. These jokes are out of this world. Well, they're not extraordinarios, but they are jokes that have to do with space, since we were talking before about Saturn and its moon Titan. Oh, I forgot to tell you before, too. Take a guess. How many moons do you think Saturn has? All right. At least 274 moons orbit the planet, of which 63 are officially named. And these do not include the hundreds of moonlets, little moons, in the rings. So Saturn, wow. Awesome. All right, let's see what we've got then here. Why do astronauts like their filet mignon, su solomillo? Why do astronauts, like their filet mignon wrapped in bacon? Hey, I've tried that before. It's really good, by the way. It just makes something, gives it a few extra calories, let's say. So why do astronauts like their filet mignon wrapped in bacon? Because it's meatier. Because it's meatier? Más carnoso, más chicha. It's meteor, but also a meteor is un meteoro. How do you say it? Meteoro. Es que es increíble. ¿Cómo puedes hacer esto? No vale, amigos. Okay? You can't say that. Porque aquí en word reference me pone que se acepta con y sin acento. O sea, ¿dónde ponemos el meteoro o meteoro? Meteoro. Oh my God. That's not fair, guys. You can't do that. Somebody has to make a decision there. Tomato. I know we do it, but don't you copy us. Not with that tomato crap. Okay, so a meteor. We talk a lot of times about meteor showers too. Lluvia de meteoritos, right? So meteor, it's meteor. It sounds exactly the same. It's meteor, es más chicha, más carne, es meteorito. Okay, let's see. Let's see if anybody gets this second one. What did Mars say to Saturn? What did Mars say to Saturn? We already looked at Saturn before. Well, Mars is Marte. Give me a ring sometime. Saturn has a lot of rings. Give me a ring, dame un toque. What did Mars say to Saturn? Give me a ring sometime. Dame un toque en algún momento. Dame un anillo. All right. I got another one. I've got another one up my sleeve. Let's see. German says, as Jack Nicholson would say, here's Johnny. And you know where he got that from, right? That's how they used to introduce Johnny Carson. So he was doing that's a pop culture reference from a pop culture reference there. Here's Johnny. If you watch, you guys should watch those. Classic. That's when TV didn't have to be provocative or could just be funny pets doing funny tricks and more, I guess, simpler humor, not as twisted, cleaner. All right, last one. Why did the star get arrested? Or why was the star detained? Te suena, no? Detained. Or why did the star get busted? It's another way to say it. También este es the totally native. Why did the star get busted? Well, because it was a shooting star. No? Shooting, pow, 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 pow. A shooting star, una estrella fugaz. Hey, we looked at the expression before, to shoot for the stars, to shoot for the moon, ir a por todas. So a shooting star, if you're a shooting star, it is lo más, right? A shooting star. Sin embargo, si usamos la palabra fugaz a secas, no es shooting. Eso es solo cuando es that collocation. I saw a shooting star. Pero si dices la belleza, por ejemplo, es fugaz. Beauty is fleeting. Okay, so what did you think? Did you get my jokes? Not so much if you thought they were funny, but did you get most of them? All right, well, my amigos, we've got to move on because we've got a shindig to get to. La palabra que usé antes, un fiestón, a shindig, a birthday bash in today's famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Birthdays for me. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Birthdays for her. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right. It's famous birthdays here on the show with no name. Number one, she was born today in 1965, an American actress and TV producer. She's been in showbiz for 5 decades, and she's gotten many awards. Let's see, where would you know her? You would know her. I mean, if you don't know her from here, then you won't know her. Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City. You call it Sexo en Nueva York? Well, Sex and the City, where, well, she won so many awards for that. And she was also in the Sex and the City movie as well, and Sex and the City 2. She's been in other films as well. New Year's Eve, Failure to Launch, Hocus Pocus 2. And did you hear about the Morgans? I don't know if I've heard about that movie, but also L.A. Story. She was in Footloose as well. That was her first major film appearance. Ed Wood, Mars Attacks. Hey, we're going back to that alien thing. And yeah, that's number one. Number two, this woman, all she wants is just a little RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. RESPECT. Take out TCP. Sock it to me, sock it to me. Yes, but she's got so many other amazing songs. You make me feel like a natural woman. And Chain of Fools, I say a little prayer for me. Spanish Harlem, Freeway of Love, and so many others. She is the queen of soul. And if she were alive, she'd be celebrating her birthday today. She died in 2018. And last but not least, this British singer, well, his real name is Reginald Kenneth Dwight, but his stage name, his last name and his stage name means alguien que va a prostíbulos, el baño, también un cuerpo no identificado si añades la palabra dough. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Chris Valrol. Number one, Sarah Jessica Parker. Number two, Aretha Franklin. And number three, Sir Elton John. And as we saw in today's Triple Trouble, the word John has many, many meanings in English. All right, my amigos, and that's going to bring us over to our Say What soundbite of the day. This was Elton John. Sir Elton John to you. And he was talking about writing songs and how they became personal to him. And this was about him receiving a song from Bernie Taupin. Now, Bernie Taupin is his writing partner. Okay, they've written together for decades. And he was talking about how he started reading the song, and he realized it was about him. Now, even though it wasn't, but he identified with it, and he goes, well, I knew it was a song I could identify with and sing for real. So just talking a little bit about the songwriting process. And he says, and I get to the chorus, el estribillo, and I find it's about my death. Now, again, this is because it's not that Bernie said, oh, Elton dies in this scene. No, he identified with it. He goes, my demise, another way of saying your death, tu perdición, your demise. And he says, and as a 76-year-old man, which I was at that time, que cuántos años yo tenía en ese momento, and having children and having a husband, mortality, dice la mortalidad. When you think about how long have I got, cuánto me queda, en este show, this show called life. All right, so here he is, Sir Elton John.
And then I get to the chorus and I find that it's about my death, my demise. And as a 76-year-old man, which I was at that time, and having children and having a husband, mortality, and you think about, how long have I got?
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Great job, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today and every day here on the show with no name. Most of all, thanks for getting what I do every day when I sit in front of this microphone, when I'm preparing these scripts. Thank you. Thanks for getting it. I mean, one thing is I'm like, oh, I think this is a great idea, or I think this section is going to work, and I think this will tie in nicely, unirse bien con lo otro. But when I see you guys getting it and playing and learning with it, well, that's the greatest reward. So thank you so much, everyone. And continue to learn with my amigos here on Vaughn Radio. You've got them all day long with fresh, brand spanking new content. And you can listen to it on the Vaughn Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts. And today's song is none other than La Mismísima Aretha Franklin, and you make me feel like a natural woman. What a beautiful song. Let's take a look at the lyrics so we can sing it together. Looking out on the morning rain, mirando, observando la lluvia de la mañana. I used to feel so uninspired, poco inspirada. And when I knew I had to face another day, cuando supe que tenía que enfrentarme a otro día, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Dios me hizo sentir tan cansada. Before the day I met you, antes del día que te conocí, life was so unkind. Unkind is cruel, right? Acuérdate, en inglés es otra palabra que escribimos igual que no pronunciamos. Vimos muchas hoy. Cruel, la E no se pronuncia en inglés. Cruel. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Focus, Alberto. We're not doing Elvis. We're doing another classic, Aretha Franklin. So life was so unkind. You're the key. Tú eres la clave, la llave to my peace of mind, mi tranquilidad, mi paz mental. Pero en ese caso, it's peace of mind. Oh, no, to my peace. Es que está escrito mal. To my peace of mind. Yeah, es que lo han escrito peace como trozo, pero es peace. Mal escrito. Google, come on. What are you doing with Google lyrics here? Because you make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a... Sing it. Thank you, everybody. An absolute pleasure. On the morning rain. I'm not going to ruin it. I promise. I'll just do the om.
So uninspired. And when I knew had to face another day. Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of